Hello, everybody. What's
What's
going
up?
on?
How's it going?
Hey, so
Good evening.
we have a very special stream tonight. We are going to be learning Robotech Reconstruction by, I believe it's by Japanime Games, and is it SMA?
SMG, Strange Machine Games.
Strange Machine Games. So
Mhm.
it is an economy-based game, so we're all looking very forward to it. Especially Jayson, who's a special guest. He's the green box. Jayson from Dice and Dragons is going on.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. You are the biggest Robotech fan I know by our playthrough from yesterday. I know that right away. So, can you tell all our viewers, which there isn't very many on right now, but you could tell all our viewers where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me and my wife Julie on YouTube at Dice and Dragons, where we do reviews, playthroughs, how to play, top tens, and we're gonna get some more discussion topics on the channel. We're just trying to catch up on a lot of commitments that we ended up with at the end of the year. And you can also find us at Dice and Dragons on Facebook and Instagram. And then for whatever reason, I couldn't get the S on Twitter, so it's Dice and Dragon.
Just one dragon on that one.
Just
That's cool. And then our other guest is I found a picture of me and him at PAX Unplugged 2019, maybe one of the last big conventions for board games to ever be held. And Austin is the designer of this game. So welcome. Which you're one of two people, right?
That's right. My name is Austin Smokewitz. I'm one half of the design duo of Dr. Witz. My co-designer, Aaron, he is sadly not able to join us this evening to play, but I think he will be watching in the stream at some point this evening.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. What other games have you made? I guess we could throw a bunch out there.
I mean, so our other published game at this point is called You Fool. You can't buy it anymore. It is out of print, but that was made by Button Shy Games. It's a very quick four-player four-player game that definitely is in the Dr. Witz line of games. We certainly have a theme running, and hopefully you'll be able to see some of that tonight. Some cajoling and some back and forth and keeping an eye on everybody else around the table. I guess should hit them with the socials, right? So
yes, please tell everyone where they can find you.
Right. So we have a website. That's dr.wictz.com, Dr. Witz. We are on Twitter at drwictz. We're on Instagram, Instagram/drwictz. In fact, if you just Google WICTZ, that will get you to basically any of our products because it's a funky, unique name.
Awesome. So, all right. On that note, just in case anyone's new to the stream, Jon and I, which are I'm on the top right. Jon's on the very bottom right, who's handling the chat right now. You can catch all our content on Fridays. So we run a weekly podcast, and we try to Twitch stream every Monday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, all right. So Austin, take it away. What are we playing tonight?
All right. So this evening we have this is our tabletop simulator prototype version of Robotech Reconstruction. We are in the Robotech universe. This focuses specifically on 9 episodes of the show. We are in the far-flung future of 2013, 2 years after the Earth has nearly been wiped out. About 90% of the population had been destroyed, but because the goal from the invading aliens was to destroy everybody, we take that as a win and we move on. So just to get out to your audience what's going on here, we have 4 factions at play who are now vying for control of the future of Earth. We have the Robotech Defense Force, the RDF, who are trying to keep the alien civilian population calm and keep them from uprising to once again take over the planet. I am playing as the Robotech Expeditionary Force, the REF. This is a group of aliens that defected in the final Battle of Earth and is now trying to help keep the planet consolidated under RDF control. Then, over here, we have the Zentradi Rebellion, which are factions of the aliens that are still on the planet and reeling for their revenge to enslave the human race. And finally, we have over here in the yellow, we have the Anti-Unification League. These are now the human remnants that have regrown on the planet that are yearning to be free and have their own civilization. So each of these factions has their own goal in this game. We have a 4-player asymmetric strategy game. As we go through, I will be narrating how things are rolling out and keeping everybody on task, because this will be their first time through. But we all did a run of the rules last night in preparation for this. So I think if we're ready, we could actually get right into the game. Is that right?
Yeah,
sounds good.
Let's do it.
All right. So first thing we're doing is we are shuffling the event deck, putting some weaker cards on top of stronger cards and dealing 4 out to everybody. So everybody starts with a hand of 4 cards. In the first round, the RDF always gets to go first. So the very first thing that that happens is that the RDF has the option of trading a card with other players. I'm going to stop for a moment so that we can actually look at our cards and figure out what we want to do. Ooh. Nice. And I will start off by saying that I do have a card that I would love for you to play. If you have anything that you'd like to give me to trade, RDF.
Who are you trying to trade with?
Right. So right now, only right because Jayson, you're the RDF. Yeah. Oh, Jayson has dropped from Discord.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
Oh,
So
no.
Jayson, I was just explaining that as you are the RDF always gets the first turn of the game. The first thing you get to do is trade a card. Optional. You have the option of trading a card with people. And I was just saying that as the REF, I have a card that I would like to trade with you if you are so inclined.
I'm interested to see what card you have to trade.
Let me show you that card. I would also like it if you could play that card this round. That would benefit me. But I'll take that back.
I don't like these negotiation tactics going on.
Well, I do have another card that you may like, but I think we can definitely trade because I think that would be to my advantage overall with the way that the RDF and the REF work together.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you two, Matt and John, you are absolutely able to make counteroffers, of course.
I don't know enough about the game to make a counteroffer yet, but I'm assuming if it has the symbol of the faction on it, that's probably a good card for them, right? Would that make sense?
So let's make that trade. I like that.
Sure. Let's make this trade. So here you go. You can have that. Thank you.
I'll go ahead and...
Oh, interesting. Okay, so the card is being played. So when a faction plays a card, the first thing we do is check the reaction column on the right-hand side. And this dictates who goes next in the turn. So who goes next in the round. So the first faction that's listed on that card is the AUL. So the AUL is going to be going next. Now, because it is an REF faction card, the REF gets to complete the actions that are on the card. There are two main things. There's a white box and a black box that that faction to execute. So the first thing it says is because we are the same, it turns out that aliens and human DNA are actually much closer than we think, that any two AUL partisans can be replaced with REF units out of play. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to jump right in here to Granite City and get 2 units into Granite City. Now, what happens here is because the balance of power has now shifted in Granite City, so it flips from an AUL-controlled city to a RDF-controlled city. And over here on our victory tracker, because each one has so much they have to worry about, the AUL's victory points drops to 2, whereas the REF's comes up to 4.
Sorry, how did you remove my pieces?
Through the action on the action card.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. I see it.
So now that the white box action has been completed, the black box at the bottom of the card takes effect. And I have the ability to take 1 move action. So I will take this opportunity to take a unit from my cargo, from my my bay, my pod bay, and drop it out of my flagship into the northwest quadrant, and that costs me a protoculture, which is the currency or the resource that every faction is using to get their actions done. So now that the card is, now that ends what I'm able to do as the faction that the card is listed, and now the RDF gets to take command, and they are allowed to take 2 actions off of their board. And because they played a different faction's card to the event timeline, they get to take 2 actions, and they have the entire board to work from. So you are free to, you now, so the question is, what actions do you want to take?
I'm going to start with getting some more troops and forces, because the AUL so nicely have some people in Macross City that I'm just going to enlist them. So I'm going to take the recruit action, which means I must spend 3 protoculture.
Right. Right. So
one of these guys into the asteroid.
A partisan is replaced with a RDF military mecha. You have enlisted them into the cause. Now, because this is a repeatable action, you can continue to recruit until you are to your heart's content.
And then I'm going to also convert 2 of those into a veritech fighter.
So now one of the things with the recruit action is that they are able to turn 2 of their military mecha into a veritech fighter, which is a more powerful unit and also necessary in order to keep the Zentradi civilians happy and content and in line. Do you wish to recruit any more?
I'm wondering if that's something that I want to do. I can do it in other locations that I control, correct?
That's correct. Though it needs to be city, and you need to have and you need to be in control of it. And so you see, I was sneaky by removing all civilians from this spot. So even though you're in control of the city, there's actually no one there to recruit.
So there's no more recruitment that I can do.
So that completes your first action. Now you get to take a second action.
Yes. Now moving could be very good, but at this point, since I decided to recruit first, doesn't make much sense to move since I'll have to come back to Macross City. That just would end up being a wasted action.
Well, except the mandatory movement at the end of the round doesn't actually cost you anything. So
no, but if I move out, then I won't be able to do another action.
Right. If you select move, then you're not able to do any more actions.
Yeah, so I'm going to then use the influence action.
All right. So, for those watching, influence is the main way that the RDF is the thing that the RDF needs to do in order to win the game. It is through the influence action that the Zentradi civilians are able to move their contentment level. And so, well, you're not able to do that here. You don't have any units here.
Oh, that's right. No, that's right. I thought I could do it.
Right.
I need more.
Right. So you are able to for your influence, you are able to do it. Yeah, here, and you're able to do it at the Excalibur Command Center and in New Macross.
So if I move them, just to clarify, if I move them down on the New Macross location, I'm just essentially preventing them from being recruited by the Zentradi Rebellion, since I already have one in the content location.
Right. And you're also able to add more to that content location. So there are now 3 content civilians. He's got 1, 2, 3, and he needs 5 to win. Now he's at 4. But nobody can win in this first round.
So I will leave it at that at this point. I think that's a good move, make some people content, and upgrade my troops for the next turn.
4. Okay, so then you signify the end of your turn by drawing another card off of the event deck. And once you do that, AUL, it is going to be your turn. Matt, you will...
All right. So I'm not going to trade because I don't want to. And then let's see here. So if I play a card that has myself in it, then I take 2. Do I still take 2 actions? Or
no? So if you play your own faction event card, you still take the action of the white box, but then you ignore the black box. But instead, you take 1 action off of from your normal action.
Okay. And if I play another faction, then I take the dark. I take the. So in this case, execute 1 move, and then I get to take 2 actions. Is that how that works?
Right. Then you get to take 2 actions, and your entire board is unlocked for you to take actions from.
Oh, okay. Well then, I'm just gonna take 1.
You don't want to trade?
I mean, I got a card that can help you, Jayson. I got a card that can help you, Austin. So nothing for John. I don't know. Does anyone have any cards for me?
If you play a good card for me, I could play a good card for you next turn.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'll
this
show
happened
you
to me
mine
last
if
time.
you show me yours.
This happened to me last time, and that didn't happen. But I trust you, Jayson. I like you. Okay, I'm gonna trust you.
I can show you the card if you'd like to see it, because you're allowed to trade, so you can see it and tell me if you like it.
Okay, yeah, throw it here. I'll give you the 2 that I can play for you.
Now you're just showing him. You're not actually making a trade, right?
Yeah, no, they got to go back.
Yeah.
They got to go back. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I like this. All right, which one do you want me to play?
The one I just gave back to you.
All right, I'll throw that down. I'll rotate that. All right. So, Jayson, you get to place 2 mechs out of play and 1 area that you control. Oh, yes, good. All right.
So he has played Veritech Production, which means that this also sets the turn order for the rest of the round. The REF will go next, and then the Zentradi Rebellion will end the round. So the RDF placed 2 Veritech fighters out of play into 1 RDF controlled city, and he has down in Granite City. And now the RDF has the option to execute a flip action, which is a move that, which is an action that exposes Zentradi warriors to be attacked in battle.
So then I could execute the flip action. It looks like only in New Portland.
Portland. Mm-hmm. Do you wish to do that?
Yes, I
And
will.
that will still cost you protoculture to do so, but you can.
All right. So now it's my turn. I could choose 2 actions from anywhere on my card. So normal or special, correct?
That's correct. In whichever order you choose.
All right. I think I'm going to build first. So I'm going to pay 2. And then I'm going to build a city here.
Here, so to build the city, you remove these 2 partisans. And now that you can see that there is a 1-to-1 control in that city, New Detroit City becomes uncontrolled.
Oh. I like New Detroit City because we're so close to Detroit, so I'm going to build my cities there. Just so everyone knows, my victory condition is if I control at least 5 cities, at the end of the game I could win. So one thought is that I can build cities, and if I build them all in 1 location or 2 or 3 locations, I can win easier. So that's my strategy. I just let it out.
All right. We'll make sure to stop that from happening.
And now I'm going to recruit, so I can do that as many times as I want. That's a little dot means next to it. So in a city... Oh, shoot. In a city that I control.
In any territory... You can recruit in any territory that you control.
Oh.
So that means you can recruit here in the Wastelands, in the Reclamation Center, and in New Portland City.
You know what? I think I've never been to Portland, but yeah, let's do that one there. So I'm gonna go 3. I'm just gonna put all my guys there. Yeah, they're just hanging out, you know. You know, helping out John. Wink, wink.
How are you?
All right, and that's my turn. So.
All right. Okay, so I will. So I do. So does any? So now that ends your turn, you get to. We'll deal you a card.
Oh. Thank you.
Yep. And now begins my turn. Okay. Does anybody have a card that they'd? I do have a card. I'm willing to give away if anybody has something that they would like to give me. Give me offers.
Do you have something I would like in your hand?
I do, but it's more that you would want me to play it.
Okay.
Instead. But for me to play this card, I would need to see something. I would need to get something really nice from you in the next round. That's-
I would need to play something for you.
Yeah, you would have to
Okay.
play something really nice for me.
all right.
Do you have anything that would work for that?
Yeah. I can show you my card here.
Sure. Got to be equivalent.
I mean, you did make the game. You know if it's equivalent or not. I don't.
Yeah. Here you go.
Thank you. Okay, how about this? If I will play that, I will play the card that will help you in the next round if you play that card in the next round. Okay.
All right?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, I won't play it this round, but I will play it next round. Instead, we'll throw this down. Instead, we have a industrial ambush. The Zentradi are going to get to place 3 covert warriors from out of play into the industrial zone, and then they're allowed to take an attack action.
Sounds good.
So this is the industrial zone up here.
Sorry, which one?
So this is the industrial zone up top.
Oh, the little hex.
Yeah. So so for the audience, the zones, there are 3 zones on the board that operate different from territories. Territories you fight over for control, and when you fight for control, the alliances matter in determining who gets to control that territory. The zones, on the other hand, have these protoculture tokens within them. And at the end of the round, each protoculture token is worth 3 protoculture. So you look at which faction controls the space with the protoculture token to determine who gets the protoculture at the end of the round. All right, and now you have the ability to execute an attack action.
And that's from my normal action on my card here?
Right. So if you look at your card, you have, so you would basically select a unit, and that unit would attack. So in this game, combat is very simple, very straightforward. You just see, you see how much, you see what's attacking, and you see, and the thing that it's attacking gets destroyed. As always seems to happen in the Robotech universe, usually when there's an engagement, something gets blown up pretty quickly. So yeah, it looks like from the board, the only unit you have that has enemies is over here in New Portland.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
So that unit can make an attack, and it's just a question of which faction can it attack. Because the RDF and the REF, because they are on the side of good, they only attack the Zentradi. They only attack the Zentradi warriors, but the Zentradi warriors in the AUL are able to attack anybody within their miss.
And that includes, I can attack the AUL as well.
You can, if you wish to. You don't have to. In fact, the black box at the bottom is an optional thing. You don't have to attack at all.
You know what? I might not attack right now. I feel like I don't have enough forces out there.
Okay. Again, there's really no risk to you. But all right, so no attack. So then I'll get to take my turn. So the 2 actions that I will take. My first action is going to be to recruit. Now, unlike other factions on the board, when the REF recruits, they have a bunch of battle pods on their board that's machinery that's in a state of disrepair after the war and needs to be brought back online in order to be fought. So when I recruit, I am actually moving I am constructing these units and bringing them into my constructed territory, into my constructed side of my board, which are things that are ready to go. So let's see. I wanted. I think I needed. I have only 9. I think I'm able to bring 2 over. Let's see how this goes. So I'll bring 2 over. That costs me 2 protoculture. And action, I am going to be moving. So I'm going to be moving 1 into the fabrication zone. Second, dropping a unit from my flagship onto the board. Third, moving the flagship into the forest preserve. Fourth, making another drop. That's 4. Let me see, what do I have left? 4. I have 3 left. So we're going to do 1. So we will drop. We'll do 1. 1, 2, and make this uncontrolled. And with my last move, I will slide on in here to New Detroit City and get that in the hands of the REF and get myself down to. Yep. All right. That is the end of my turn, and I am going to take a card. And Zentradi Rebellion, you're up.
Awesome. I just have a quick question.
Absolutely.
Part of my special actions is to influence Do I have to be in that area to do so?
Yes. So in order for you to influence, you need to get Chiron into a territory and have control of that territory in order to influence.
Okay.
So Chiron is a pretty important dude. He's a pretty big deal.
All right. And does Chiron get played with cards, or can I just move him?
He's another unit that you can move.
Okay.
So right now he's currently in the hideout.
Right.
And unlike other factions, the Zentradi has a hideout, which is a special space on their own faction board off the play space. And from that hideout, they're able to move their units anywhere onto the board. And they're also able to use the hideout as a waylay station between territories on the board, as a way of quickly fast traveling around the board, around the map.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So let's see.
I was going to play this card here.
Aha. Out comes Propaganda Drive. Propaganda Drive allows the RDF to replace any 4 AUL units with 4 military mecha from out of play. So I
feel attacked.
Slightly. So because the RDF only has 2 military mecha, he's going to be very judicious and take one of these cities. Aha.
Yep. Seems to make the most sense.
Which now means that the AUL still only has 1 city. It brings the RDF up to 7 territories.
Wow.
And 7 territories or more is what the REF needs in order to win the game. But because nobody can win in this first round, it's A-okay.
Next round matters.
Yes, next round matters. Don't worry, Matt. I'm gonna, like I said, like I promised, I will give you a little boost at the beginning of the next round.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Awesome. Did Jayson take his influence action?
No, not yet. So he also
You
has
can take an influence action.
He's also able to take one influence action.
Yeah, I'll do that. Sorry, I didn't see
And
that.
now the options, unlike last time, the options for taking influence has increased because he got the Veritech fighters down in Granite City. So he still has New Macross, Excalibur, and Granite City. And it is interesting to note that over here in Monument City, he's not able to do any influence because he does not have a Veritech fighter or Rick Hunter hanging out there in order to actually help persuade them. All right, so he's going to bring himself up to 5. Four, 5. Okay. And then you paid for that influence?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Zentradi Rebellion. Do your deeds.
Alright. Whoops.
All right. So you get to take 2 actions.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move Kion over to the Wastelands here. And that and then I was going to influence so I can shift.
So once you are done with your move actions, that is all the moving you can do. So is that all the moves you wish to take?
Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll move out of here to the northwest quadrant, where it's hard. And then...
which then is this territory uncontrolled.
Why can't I move you? And then I was going to influence, and then move one of these to the right.
Okay. Which will remove it from the board, and instead that civilian now becomes radicalized and joins you in the hideout.
Awesome.
And that also gets the Zentradi Rebellion a point.
John, I don't like what you're doing here.
Sorry.
And so that was 2 protoculture for the move,
And then one
and
for the...
one for the that. Okay. All right.
And I believe my return is done.
That's right. So now that everybody has taken a round in the game, right, you've grabbed your card. Very good. Now that everybody has taken a round in the game, we come over here to the resolution bar, which we just do some end of round cleanup, and essentially everybody gets to take an extra turn. First thing we do is check for victory, but we skip that in the first round. The next thing is we gain income. So you take a look at everybody takes the income action. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The RDF has 6 territories under their control, which means that the RDF gets 12 protoculture, and the REF gets 6 protoculture. And on the other side, we have the AUL has 2 territories under their control, which means the AUL gains 2 protoculture and the Zentradi gain 2 protoculture. So just done. And now we also look at the protoculture zones. So because here and here we see that the REF controls one zone with a protoculture token, so the REF gets another 3, up to 9, and the Zentradi Rebellion controls 1, so they also get another 3, 17. And then here, because nobody has taken over this area, it automatically goes to the RDF. So the RDF gains another 3 protoculture, bringing them up to 22.
Wow.
Right. Okay. So now the Zentradi Rebellion and the RDF gets to take another influence action. The Zentradi Rebellion is in a territory where there's nobody to influence. However, the RDF, would you like to take any more influence at this time?
I shall, actually.
Okay. So that's going to bop you up 1 more. All right. And is that going to be it? Just the 1?
Oh, I can take more info.
Yes, you can take more if you wish. Which means we're really going to have to stop him now.
Nah. Jason's got this. He's like the good guys. You want the good guys to win, right?
5, 6, 7. So he's up to 7 now.
Wow.
Definitely puts him in a victory condition. All right. Now you're done?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm
So
done. There's
now-
nothing else I can do. I don't have a veritech fighter anywhere. Well, I could do the other territory, but I don't know. Yeah, actually, why not? Actually, no, that's not smart. No.
All right. So the next thing is that Chiron retreats back to the hideout along with any overt fighters. So Chiron comes back, and this unit in the Reclamation Center comes back, and the unit in New Portland comes back, and they come back and they get flipped over to their covert side. So they're able to become sneaky again and come out.
Awesome.
Now the RDF has to retreat to the city. Yep, that's right.
Nope.
You were doing it. The RDF now has to retreat back to the cities. So what this means is RDF, these 2 units need to retreat back to a city. These 3 units need to retreat back to a city. And you get to decide how that gets split up amongst them. And now, of course, Monument City is under your control. New Detroit City is under your control. Granite City is under your control. You have a lot of options here.
This is looking pretty good for you, Jayson.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Matt, I'm going to need you to take some more control over some places, please.
I put all my guys to help you out, and you decide to help Austin out there, John. I believe this is your fault.
Sorry.
No comment from John.
All right, so you've done.
I'm
that.
learning.
But I am ignoring the fact that I played a card to help. I think it was to help Jayson, so it's possibly my fault too. We should probably be helping each other, but hey, whatever.
So now the AUL and the REF get to take the recruit action.
Woohoo!
So wish.
All right. So I still have to pay. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah, we still have to pay for it, but
It's bad. Let's see.
all right. I think I need to. Right. So the AUL goes first, but you can essentially do it simultaneously. So I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3 to move 3 more into my hole. It's probably 1 more than I need, but all right. It's fine. And then you've bopped yourself back down to 0.
Yes.
getting people out. Okay. So after the recruit action, then if any units had been removed from play during the round due to an event card or having been attacked, this is when they would return. Finally, there are some special event cards that get dealt out now to their respective factions. We did that, and now we have officially ended the round, and we're beginning round 2. And we're just going to clean this up. Ba-ba-ba. And there we go. We're going to clear the event timeline, and now we're starting round 2. And the starter of round 2 is myself, the REF.
Ooh.
And
Don't play a card to help me. Don't play a card to help me. I'm gonna say that right now. I know we agreed to it last time, but I think I need resources. So
yeah, you do need resources, so I'm going to help you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was going to play a card to help you, so I'm going to play Min-Mei Missing.
All right.
So
Nice.
In this card, the AUL gets to place 4 units from out of play into any one city, but Min-Mei gets removed from the board while doing so for the round. So there's a little bit of consequence to it.
So I'm gonna put them all here.
All right. Does that change the balance of power in New Detroit? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 to 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 to 4. So yes, New Detroit is now under the control of the AUL again, giving them 2 points because they control the city territory and the city token in that space. And then you also you have the option of doing a move action, but since you're out of protoculture, that is not about to happen. And now I get to take my turn. So, yeah. Oh, yes. And of course, as we see, because I played it, the RDF gets to go next, which is yes. All part of the plan.
Oh no.
Well, no, it's just stop the RDF from winning. That's all. Okay. So my first action, I'm going to be taking more movement. So I'm sitting here at 6 protoculture. So we're going to do 1, 2. Sorry, taking that back for a second. So it's going to be 1 here, 2, move it into this protoculture zone. 3, 4, 5. And that will spend all of my protoculture. And then I will, for my second action, I am going to take income, because I don't think I'm going to get this extent again. So that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7. So I'll take the 7 protocols, take the 7 income, be mocked up at 7, and that's going to end my turn. I'll grab a card. Now, one thing to note for victory condition is that when you check for victory at the end of the game, you actually look down the timeline, and the first player who actually has their victory conditions achieved wins. So if at the end of the round, the situation is still RDF has 7 and the REF has 7, the REF will win because they have because they go first because they ended up going first in the round. So I've just set myself up that even if you don't do anything against RDF, I will have set myself up for victory.
Ouch.
Yeah, we gotta stop you.
All right, RDF, you're up.
I will follow through. Matt is so trusting. I do have a card that I could play for myself, but I don't want to do it. We're good Canadians here.
That's what we want them to think, right?
Yes, people helping people. So this card allows, basically just gives the AUL some income, which they desperately need right now.
Oh man, that is crazy. Yeah, thank you.
And also sets ourselves up. Also sets up the turn order for the rest of the round.
And now you can take a move action and get rid of one of those territories if you want.
Yes, that is definitely a good idea. Let's see here. We got 2 in there. Yeah, I'm gonna move 3 into here. So this should flip this. That's a good idea. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Jayson. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And that only costs you 1 protoculture to do. So you're down to 2.
So I am going to start with the influence action.
Oh, gonna go hard.
Oh yeah.
All right. Oh, aha.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's like that's so far off the board, we're not even gonna. Oh.
And then I think I'll call it. I like my 2 RDF strongholds.
You still get a second action. Okay.
I think I'm just out of protoculture. Oh, I can take income though.
Which is now at 6, so that would give you 12.
Yeah, I will take income and go up to 12.
Okay. All right. And I'll deal you a card. Is that all? That's your turn, yes?
Yeah, because I just took the influence and.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, I'm no longer winning. It's up to one of you two to stop this. I have a card that will help, but I should wait for the AU to get. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it's still necessary by the end of the round.
It's up to you, John.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just screwed. I don't know what I can do here. Okay. I might play a card to help you, Matt.
Okay.
I don't know if it will. But
you know, it's interesting. The card that I have to play for Austin will actually help us, so that's good.
Okay.
All right, move all from Monument City. So move all REF and RDF or.
Monument City declares independence. So RDF and REF units have to be removed from Monument City. And because this is an AUL card, the AUL decides where they go.
Oh.
So the AUL is essentially pushing all of these units out, which means that the territory will become uncontrolled. And you have your here, or here is where you're able to move them.
Let's dump them all in the city. There you go. Sweet. And then I can execute a recruit action, correct? So
that is correct.
Recruit, pay 1, create 1 new. I don't know, I might need all that. So Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Doesn't sound like a good idea. So I'll skip my recruit. But I think that does help us.
All right. Now, Zentradi, it's up to you.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move. Whoa. Sorry, my computer just messed up.
You need a mouse pad, John? You want me to toss you a mouse pad?
No. It's just like zooming in and out.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna move Chiron to here. And then maybe one of these guys here to protect me. Oh, just in case.
Okay.
And then I'm going to
That's
influence these guys. How much
and is that all?
protoculture do I have?
Is that all your movement? You have 15 protoculture.
Oh, dope. You know what? I'll move a couple people here.
To reinforce.
Oh, thanks, John.
That is actually not a dude.
Oh, sorry.
This is but that's okay. You're moving 3 more in.
Okay, I'll do that, and then I will spend enough to influence these two down.
Off the board.
So he was in the second spot, this one guy. So
yeah. So that's going to be 5 protoculture.
Yep.
Okay. You can take them off the board. That gets you 2 more points. And those 2 come onto your hideout.
Boop. Good job, John.
I don't know if that did anything, but we'll go from there.
Okay, so you can take a card, deal you a card.
Oh, thank you.
And now it's the AUL's turn. So before you play a card, I actually have a trade I want to make.
Okay.
But, John, I'm going to give him a card, but John, you're gonna have to play it responsibly.
Okay.
So here's the problem we find ourselves with. The AUL the RDF has, if we don't do anything, the RDF is going to win. So I have a card that will help stop that from happening, but I need you to, actually use it for the powers of good as opposed to the powers of evil. Can you do that?
That's up to me?
Yeah, it's going to be up to you.
He's going to give it to me, and then you're going to have moves to make.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. Let's do it up.
How much money, Jayson, are you going to give John to?
I think I'm just going to send him back all the money that Jackson convinced you guys to spend.
So I'm going to give. I'm going to give you. So I'm going to give you that card, and I hope you're going to play it. And then you still need to give me something in return, though.
Do you want?
So what do you think? Are you willing to play that card? This one?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll play it. Why not? Sounds good.
Okay. Then I'll take a card, any card in return.
Here, I'll give you a couple of cards to look at. You could just.
No. Just throw me one. It's
okay.
fine.
All right.
Because I already got a good card. I think I want
to.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Jayson, how much money? Your son took a lot of money from us. Scammed us. I don't know if anyone knows, but there's like a small joke that we've been doing for a while. I think it's like a while now, right? Where your son,
at least a month or two.
Yeah, like a month or two for sure.
I'm like the king of repetitive jokes. I just like doing repetitive jokes. I'm really sorry. That's how I roll. But basically, his son's been calling us and stealing money. It's actually a really horrible thing.
Oh, wow.
He's 10 months old, by the way.
What did he get your credit card number or something?
Yeah.
Hack your PayPal account?
He didn't hack it. He's just so darn cute. We had to give it to him.
Yeah, he's the one backing all those Kickstarters for me.
Oh, right. So if your wife's listening, John, it's not you. It's
Jason's 10-month-old son.
Jayson,
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
That makes sense. All right,
That's
I'm
what I'll
gonna throw
tell
this
her.
one down.
All right. So down goes Zentradi Desertion. In 3 different territories, move 1 Zentradi civilian 1 spot to the right.
Okay. So what's content here? So anything.
Content is anything on the far left of the track. So he's got 2 here, 1 here, 4 there, 1 here.
Okay.
Wow. We should just let Jayson win. I'm just kidding.
That'll put me at 5.
So
So
1.
that's 1.
Was it 3 different territories?
2. It's 3 different territories. Yep.
2.
Oh, that's true. Might not be enough.
3. And do I get anything else here?
4, 5. Yes, you also get to take a move action. That might not be enough to do it.
Oh, really? Jason's still at 5?
He's got 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's now at
Wow. Oh man,
Oof.
I don't even do anything.
Well, I took away Minmay, which is your ability to influence. So,
Oh.
I think I shot myself in the foot there.
Wow. That's okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, hmm.
And then, sorry, 1 move action is just like from one place to another.
Yeah. So from the hideout to the board to the hideout, from space on the board to another, to an adjacent space on the board. Yeah. 1 move action.
Okay. Maybe I'll just move. I don't know if that's gonna do anything, but we'll move. There.
Becomes uncontrolled.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I could really do anything. That's gonna.
Ooh.
I can attack Jayson. That's about it, really.
You can do that.
All right. Well, I mean,
Not down.
you're gonna win here, so might as well. All right. I'm gonna attack. No, I'm gonna attack Austin. It doesn't even matter what I do.
Helping.
Well, you can take 2 territories. You can get your city if you want.
Yeah, I can. I could get a single city here, which actually brings me 1 closer. But I don't know. I don't think we can actually do anything. All right. Well, I'll do that. I'll just make a city. So I'll pay 2, and then I'll remove these 2. City goes there, and then I will. Oh, so I'm pretty close to winning too. And that's all. I'll take an info. I guess I'll take income. So 1, 2, 3.
2, 3. Well, that's 4.
Oh, 4.
2, 3, 4. Yep. So that's
Okay.
4.
So 4.
Okay.
And that's it.
That ends the round. First thing we do is victory check. And yes, the victory goes to the RDF. They have been able to solidify and pacify the Zentradi civilians.
Yay!
Thus accomplishing their goal and winning the game.
I was hoping Jayson would win anyway. I mean, he is the good guy, so you're trying to root for him a little bit.
See, I know where the mistake was. The mistake was when Monument City declared independence, you put all of these units here.
Oh.
What I was hoping is that you would have put them like here, thus allowing the Zentradi to move into New Macross and take all of these off the board.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so I screwed everything up. I was
maybe not. I think
it's okay.
I don't know. The Zentradi could have maybe come into Monument City instead, and taken 2 points down instead of 1. But of course, they never knew that I was going to be able to play the Zentradi desertion card. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple of different what ifs there.
It was getting the veritechs early that made all the difference. When Matt let me get those veritechs, I was like, oh, I can just influence the whole board now.
Yeah.
Whoops. I know. I guess also maybe you could explain a little bit of insight here. Is the game set up so that the AUL is supposed to work more with the Zentradi Rebellion? Is that how the game is kind of?
Yeah, that is kind of how the game is set up. Like they actually help reinforce each other. The AUL and the Zentradi Rebellion end up reinforcing each other a lot better than the RDF and the REF. Like, their goals actually overlap. And in fact, I'm actually really happy that I was really happy that this ended up being the outcome because, people play it and people play it and they're like, whoever wins the first time, they're like, oh, that faction's overpowered. Mm-hmm. So like seeing an RDF win here and seeing how it's done, that's how it's done.
I mean, I guess you would say the game is balanced, right? But do you notice like any factions are more fun to play, or do you notice any factions are tougher to play?
Well, there's certainly I have a scaling. Is that I think there's a difficulty of play. So like the REF is the simpler one to play. It's still challenging to figure out what you're exactly going to do, but as far as the actual mechanisms, the REF is certainly the simpler one. Aaron and I disagree over if the Zentradi is harder or the AUL is harder. I think it's the AUL Zentradi. I think it's the other way around, and I think we all agree that the RDF is the trickier one to play because they have to both balance out the territorial control of slipping too much. If the RDF controls too many cities, then that will tip the balance to the REF winning the game. But if they don't, then they can't spread and actually, as you saw, influence enough units and enough civilians in enough places to actually get the win. Mm-hmm. So I think we all agree that they're a little bit trickier of a balancing act to play. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible to win.
No, it's definitely challenging, and looking at what you need to gain control and flip G influences. I like the fact that Macross City has 4, because that really does give the RDF a solid base. But getting that 5th one, or even getting enough extra so that someone can't get rid of them all by the end of your turn is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had to build more veritechs, like I don't think I would have been in a good spot at all.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, this is definitely like a game where you got to play it many, many times before you can understand the strategies, right? So I definitely played a card wrong. But that's all learning, right? I think that's all learning. So I definitely I'm like, man, I need to give this another go for sure.
I don't think it was necessarily played wrong. I think no, not played wrong. But it's one of those things like you made a deal with me to help you out. You
Right.
got the income, but it's almost like you should have been making a deal with John. Be like, John, now that I gave him those things, you need to blow them up.
No, you're right. Totally.
And right, and it's not so like the actual mechanic, like the actual turn is fairly simplistic, right? You play the card, you do the things on the card, and then you take your turns. The thing that helps with repeated plays is just knowing what's out there, what's on all of these cards, and like being aware of and like asking for it. Because what I have in my hand, unfortunately, is the other card that allows even more to be pulled off the board. If I had known that it would have ended up this way, I would have played this here instead of Minmay missing, and that would have radically shifted the game, because then you would have had Minmay to do stuff with. I thought I was being a little clever by being like, oh yeah, I'll do this, I'll help them out, but then I'll get Minmay off the board so they can't get more income. But it's like you get to the end of the round, and it's like, oh, you really needed her to actually save the game.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think that round I was thinking she was here. I was actually going to move my troops in here, and I think I would have been able to influence a little bit. So, but it's okay. You can't predict, right?
Right.
Because during Jayson's turn, which he played here, he made some good moves that basically moved all his influence, or he influenced a ton, which basically won him the game.
Nice.
And I would say that the game it's all about emergent strategy, because you don't know what's going to happen, what cards are going to come out, and what sequence. So every turn is going to change your strategy up a little.
Right. This is a highly tactical game in that regard. So is there any questions? Any questions from chat? Any questions from you guys?
When's this game going to be available?
So we're looking at getting it out into a pre-sale in June.
Nice.
I say that tepidly because we don't have a set date yet, but it is going to be coming to pre-sale this summer.
We do have a question from chat. So Emotional Cyborg, hey Emotional Cyborg, just want to say hello now that we're free to chat with the chat. She says, is it 2 to 4 players?
It is 3 to 4 players. So we have in the box we have a bot faction for the REF player. So we have a bot faction that can take over for it, but we like to, like, a big part of this game is that social interaction, is that making deals, and you kind of, it becomes a different game when you get down to 2. So we're on the box it's 3 to 4, and that is really the intended way to play.
Just a question for you. Did you ever consider like a co-op version where it's like 2 versus a bot, or 2 versus 2 bots, or something like that?
I mean, it's like I could say that I was thinking about how to go about a 2-player mode, and I think that what was it? It was more interesting if, like, when you play 2-player, you actually play as something like the RDF and the Zentradi, or the REF and the AUL, because like your goals are kind of mirrored against each other. So at least you're playing against another human player in that same sphere of contention. If you did play as kind of like the alliance side of things, then you're really more worried about, helping the other person who's there with you versus facing off against the facing off against the bots on the other side, which does give a different.
Emotional Cyborg says that makes sense. It was cool watching all four, so I assume it would be the best that way. So, which you just agreed with. You did say it is more fun with the more interactions of trying to make deals, basically, right?
Right. I will say that in the background, we are trying to develop additional bots for additional factions, but that's not looking to be. If that's a thing, that would be coming later. That's not what we're looking at for this initial sale.
No, that's
for the initial print run here.
I have a question. How long was this game in production for? Like, I guess like the idea, was it always Robotech themed, or did that kind of come later?
It actually was always Robotech themed.
Really?
So that's the first thing. So this game has been in development since about 2018. So this will be about 3 years in development now, and I will say that this is themed the way it is because it comes from watching the show, rewatching the show, and being like, oh, during the Reconstruction era, like I know that like the love triangle is the thing that's front and center during that part of the show, but like there is all of this really interesting maneuvering going on in the background that everything's set against, and I'm like, there is a game there. Mm-hmm. You have the independence movement going on. You have Zentradi's coming around, essentially committing acts of terrorism, and you have the RDF who's more concerned with keeping that rebellion from starting, more so than worrying about the independence movements that are springing up. Which is funny because from the Zentradi perspective, civilian life is a very strange concept to them. So I like how in this game we do it so that the REF is like humans. They're all together. They should be under the control of the RDF. That just makes sense. What is civilian life? We don't know. It doesn't make any sense to us.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. I do like how all the factions kind of have their own thing, and it is an asymmetric game, and I think it works really well as an asymmetric game. We all have our own goals, basically, which is pretty awesome.
Right, and each faction has, beyond their own goals, they have their own efficiencies in like what they're good at doing. The game is intentionally set up to, the thing you want to do is the hard thing for you to do. Mm-hmm. And I know that that's a little frustrating because you're like, I just want to do that more. But yeah. Right? Because like what's cool is that if the game had gone on, there's actually this really cool combo here, right? Where because the Zentradi get to do their thing, and you spent the time, taking all of the Zentradi population from New Portland, and then suddenly the AUL plays a card that allows you to make a move action. So that means, you could just move right on out to the Northwest Quadrant, and at the end of the round, take this guy as well. You basically get a freebie in the middle. You get another character in the middle of play, and that's great.
And taking all of those guys out of New Portland was kind of annoying because it just made this card useless.
Oh yes.
Wow. That's funny. Did you have that the whole game?
Yeah, I had that like the whole game.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if you see in the lower right hand corner of that card, it has a little arrow symbol, which means that this is one of the initial cards that get dealt out at the beginning of the game. So so experienced players know that from the very start of the game, this card is most likely in somebody's hand. Like all of these symboled cards except for one get dealt into hands. So like once you've seen what's in the deck, you're like, okay, I know that card exists. I know I don't have it, I need it to be played now. Who has it? Tell me who has riots in New Portland so we can like do this thing.
And that Skull Squadron card is just devastating.
Yep.
Right, except it forces you to move all of your units, though. So you got to watch out how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of one of those things you want to do when it's like, oh, the Zentratis are setting up for a big influence turn at the end, during the end round stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So like one of the things about this game is that there's a lot of there's a lot of discrete balancing that happens where like, with your actions and the protoculture intake is important, but then there's also a lot of player self-balancing that has to happen where you have to, read the board and then make the decision to make this play or that play to try to influence the game moving forward. Because as you saw, because it is so tactical, every single card that gets played can drastically change the outcomes from game to game. Which is why, even though, you look at it and you're like, okay, there's 4 rounds. The game is only 4 rounds long. And yes, there's a predetermined order of who starts what round. But there is a whole lot of crazy that can happen in between.
I mean, it's interesting because we got through 2 rounds, but a whole lot happened. Like a real lot happened, which is very interesting. I guess another thing too, how many rounds is a typical game? Like we got through 2. I'm assuming we ended. But does it normally end that fast? I don't think it does. Am I wrong?
Well, the way I like to say it is that that's one of the beauties of this game is that the first time most people will play it, they'll break it out, they'll learn the rules, and then once they got the rules down, they'll play it, and the game will end in the second round. Like this, and they'll be like, what? Okay, now we got to try that again. And really, it's a thing where like the more experienced the players are, the longer the game goes.
Okay.
And I know I didn't really touch on this, but here's the thing: if you get to the end of the 4th round, and nobody has won, the game shifts in an interesting way. In the sense that what we do is we have this thing called minor victories. So instead of one player winning outright, you will actually have 2 players who win. But what's interesting here is that you compare the RDF and the AUL against each other, and one of those 2 will win. So one of these 2 will win. And then you compare the REF and the Zentradi, and one of these 2 will win. So it's interesting in that the entire game, like the AUL and the REF, they are like locked in this battle of territorial control for the entire game. But right at the end, suddenly the RDF has to look at the Zentradi and say, oh, wait, I'm actually now having to compare against them. And therein lies another subtle dilemma, which is that if the REF starts caring more about the Zentradi's points too soon, they might actually just tip the game over into somebody else, into one of the other 2 factions winning outright, because they kind of stop doing what they're doing. So there's always so even when you get right up to the end of the game, there's always that balance that you have to be looking at amongst the players of like, oh, now do I have to, like, am I sure that this other player is not going to win the game, and then I'm not going to win the game? Am I sure? And then if that's the case, now I have to like do this other thing to try to make sure that I stay ahead and actually still come out a winner of this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. I definitely found that out in the first round. I'm like, oops. Oh man. Yeah. No, there is a lot going on. It's definitely a game you have to play more than once to understand, which is really cool. So,
it's a good game. I really like the way that it interacts with every player turn, and I'm starting to appreciate more of these strategic games just because I find that when you're playing, essentially, sometimes it's fun to play multiplayer solitaire, but if you're playing with someone that has an AP or really bad AP, they can't really get AP in a game like this because what they're going to do is going to be decide on
analysis paralysis.
Gotcha.
They get locked into their own loops of thinking, trying to figure out what exactly is the best thing to do.
Gotcha.
And that can be bad in certain games where basically you can get up, get a drink, watch an episode of a TV show, come back, and then it's like still not your turn.
So like Dungeons and Dragons, that's how I feel about Dungeons and Dragons.
Our Firefly playthrough.
Oh, Firefly, yeah, we played Firefly. That's how long it was.
Yeah,
watch
and that's
Justice
how,
League.
the Snyder cut.
Yep. It was bad.
That's like my 3-hour-long play of Ticket to Ride. Like, oh my god, I wanted to kill people.
You had a 3-hour play of Ticket to Ride? Who were you playing with?
Some people that played it before, some people that were new, and like I'll be honest, like that just taught me. I'm like, I don't want to ever play this game. People are like, you don't like Ticket to Ride? I'm like, I'm gonna stick to the 15-minute version.
Oh, the New York one or whatever, the kids. I think it's a dumbed down version, but it's still a good game.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm like, if I'm gonna play Ticket to Ride, I'd rather play like 4 games quickly than one long game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Man, I can't even believe playing.
They outstay their welcome.
Emotional Cyborg is cringing in horror. I think it's that Ticket to Ride. Oh man, yeah, cool. I guess that's it. This is the end of the stream. So Jayson, let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me and my wife Julie on Dice and Dragons on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and at Dice and Dragon on Twitter. Come check us out.
Cool. And then Austin, where can they find Dr. Wicks?
So all you have to do is type into Google WICTZ, and that will bring up our webpage, our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook. But you can find us at DRWICTZ on Twitter, and our website is dr.wictz.com.
Awesome. Thank you both for joining us on the playthrough of Robotech Reconstruction, which you can find, I believe you said, in June. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right? That is through Strange Machine Games. So strangemachinagames.com/Robotech-Reconstruction. You can sign up for a notification for when the pre-sale goes live.
Awesome. And obviously, if you're joining the Friday Night live stream, you know where to find John and I on all our socials, which is listed above and below us. And check out our podcast on Friday where we talk about Twilight Imperium 4, which me and John have never played. So we learn all about it. And we probably don't have the time to play it, so it's never going to happen.
Now, is that with the Prophecy of Kings expansion, or just going to do basic?
So we actually invited on Michael from Apex Tube, and he does give us the differences between the new expansion. He hasn't played it himself yet, so I guess it's slightly a bit of a spoiler. He has it, but he just hasn't had time. His gaming group is, COVID's kind of destroyed all gaming groups for now, so it is what it is.
Sorry, indeed.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. We're going to log off.
Thank you.
Definitely check
Thank
everyone
you.
out. See ya.